So, as a sex worker, what is the least amount of money I've ever got, and what is the most amount of money I've ever got? Okay, so I'll start with the most. The most amount I ever got was for all night. That was about from, I'd say, it was kind of getting in the evening time, maybe 4 or 5, from about 4 or 5 in the evening till the next morning. I think it was probably about 8 or 9 in the morning when he left. And this was at a brothel in Pahrump called the Chicken Ranch. And he actually did pay me about, I believe, if I can remember right, it was around 8 or 9 thousand. But you got to remember, they take half. So I got around, it was probably like around $4,000, I believe it was. So, and that was just for one client. You got to remember, you're there. When you work at the brothels, you're usually there between 2 and 3 weeks. I used to do three weeks on and about a week or two off. I would drive home to California about every 3 weeks, and yeah, the money was okay, I guess. I mean, I could probably do I do just about as good on my own, but yeah, there are some good things about working there. But the worst thing about working in the brothels is that a lot of the brothels don't give you a shift to work on. That means you're working 24/7, which means you don't get much sleep sometimes. They can come and knock on your door pretty much any time in the night that they want to. And sometimes you get sleep deprived. And for me, at my age, no way. Maybe when you're in your 20s or 30s, you can do that. But once you start getting older, like in your 50s, like I am, there's no way I'm going to get woken up all night long. I would never get any sleep, and I would age. You have to, when you get older, you have to have good sleep so you don't age. And sleep is very, very, very crucially important for aging. If you don't get good sleep, your body can't repair itself and you age very, very quickly. So, yeah, I try to get at least 8 hours of very peaceful, restful sleep every single night. It's extremely, again, I can't stress how extremely important good sleep is when you get older. So, yeah, brothel life is pretty much over for me now. But yeah, that was just one client. And normally, I would say I would get probably between 3 to 600 normally. But yeah, 8,000, that was unusual. That only happened once. Some of the girls could do it more often. They were very, very good at sales because a lot of them had training in sales, and they could get that a lot. Like there was this one girl, she would get like 5, 6 thousand every time she booked, and she used to book every day, and she would usually spend at least 5 or 6, 7 hours with each client. And that was an anomaly. I mean, not very many people can do that. I don't know how she did that. She was very, very good at sales, and she always got their credit card and she always got cash both. So pretty much, she would drain them of all their money, let's just say. But yeah, as far as sex, I believe, if I can remember right, we only did it a few times. You know, it's not like he was like some 20-year-old. He was just an older guy. And we had sex a few times that evening and then one more time in the morning, and then he was gone. So yeah, very nice gentleman as far as I can remember. So the least amount of money I've ever gotten. Okay, so when I used to work in my own house in California, I would have these regulars that would see me like once a week, and I give them a special deal, and it's because we didn't have sex. So one of them was a foot fetish guy, and all he wanted to do was just lick my toes and rub my feet. He would take my feet, put my feet together and do this and get off like that. And I believe if I remember right, I only charged him like 65, $70. And he used to see me all the time. And there was another guy, and I only used to charge him about, I think it was like $80. And all he wanted to do is clean my house with lingerie on. So I'd supply him some lingerie. I used to get a lot of free lingerie because I would do nude modeling and lingerie modeling. So I had a lot of extra, I had like bags of lingerie. So I would let him put some of my lingerie on. I'd put some lipstick on him, and he would scrub my floors and clean my toilets. And then when he was all done cleaning my house, I would go over to him and I would just start like teasing him and showing him my body and telling him he can look, but he can't touch. And he loved it. He'd totally get off on that. And then he'd go, and he would finish with his hand, and he would just like be looking at me and and he'd be like snibbling, and he'd want me to like call him names and stuff. So that's what I did. And he used to come over like every week, and he was very, very happy client. So, yep, that's the short and the long of it. Take care.